We live. What's good, everybody? It's Game Talk. I'm Gangster. I'm here with Brimstone
What's going on, guys?
and my man Blue.
Pain.
Pain and suffering is all we know here in life.
That's all I face, dude. I only know suffering. I only do things that bring pain onto me.
Like
think.
butt sex, right?
Yes.
That.
He admitted it! Admitted it!
One of the roughest things out there, dude. It's kind of nuts, not gonna lie. Like, I mean, just ask your mom. I mean, what?
Oh!
I would, but she's kind of buried.
Oh.
So, I mean, if you want to go for it, I mean, you have my support, and I'll call you
What?
dad.
You son of a bitch. You throwing this shit at me right now.
Brimstone played his trap card.
I'm not wrong. I'm not. I mean, it's true, but like, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I support you full-heartedly, you know, Dad.
Oh.
Well, I listen. I didn't ask for this. I'm sorry. I didn't think we would take it this far. I'm sorry.
Didn't know what you were signing up for.
No, this is not what I signed up for.
What up, Levon?
Can I withdraw consent? Is it possible to withdraw consent?
Now you have more in common with my dad and my stepdad.
Wait, what?
They didn't know what they were signing up for.
Dude, this is not what I asked for.
Oh, Jesus. You guys are killing me.
Oh, if you want to be depressed, go play.
Really, though?
Yeah,
Your
really
Automata is depressing. That's my week. All depression.
What y'all been up to?
Playing the Star Wars. I love this game. I can't get enough of this fucking game, dude. I have come full circle and like truly believing that I am forever dedicated to this game. It's the longest game I played in I don't know how long.
Nice. You, Blue?
Just playing Nier all week. Nier Automata, which if you haven't played it, go play it. But quick disclaimer, it's a depressing game. Don't go in there expecting happy feelings because you'll never get them.
Happy feelings? What's that?
Yeah, exactly. But no, Nier is a very depressing game. It's very depressing, borderline nihilistic. If you do play, because it's a really fun game. Like I really like the gameplay. It's a fun game, but just if you actually do go play Nier, just know what you're signing up for. That's all I'm saying. Just know what you're signing up for. Also, there's no such thing as one playthrough.
Well, there is, but you're missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out on everything. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who the fuck does only one playthroughs of things? You know what I mean?
I mean, depends if the game's bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on the game.
Because I only did one playthrough of The Last of Us back in the day, and that's because the gameplay, I hated the gameplay so much. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need this in my life. The story was good, but the gameplay sucks. Look, jeez. So, how's your week been, Gangster?
Oh, I've just been chilling. Got
Sucking
my
dick.
new storage hard drives, put those bitches in.
And he's sporting a new set of cans.
Yeah, got my new headset. Got my new mouse, but unfortunately it was a little defective, so I had to send that shit back.
A little.
A little. Yeah, the right click was fucking up.
Just a smidgen.
I hate it too. It's only one button, the right click, but
that's the one that matters.
Yeah, it was tapping when I didn't want it to. That was the thing. If it was like the forward or back button or something, I wouldn't have cared. But not right click, man. That's too important. So I actually should be getting the replacement today. But yeah, then had to spend 10 hours transferring files from my old hard drives to the new ones.
I feel that.
You know?
Me, on the other hand, I'm just like, just wipe it. Just wipe it. We'll start from scratch. Just wipe it.
Yeah,
I don't
fuck no. I had too much data to do that shit.
He has too much high seas loot to get rid of it.
I would never. You wound me, sir.
No, I'm obviously talking about I'm talking about Sea of Thieves. What do you mean? Wow,
Right.
taking this out of context.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Guilty conscience?
I was talking about Sea of Thieves. What are you talking about?
I will neither confirm nor deny. So.
Of course, because he's playing.
He would never do such things.
He
Ever.
would never. Ever.
Ever.
And never, ever, ever?
Ever.
So what has happened in the world like this past week?
I honestly, dude, I have not kept up with anything. I have
haven't
literally
either.
just focused on my Trovo community and just hanging out in Trovo with my people, dude. Like that's all I've done for like the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you. Like I just don't keep up with the world anymore, dude. It's not worth it to me in my
I
eyes.
just don't care enough.
It puts me in that negative headspace that I don't want to be in. You know what I mean? So I just ignore it. I choose to ignore. And everybody asks me, "Hey, Brim, what do you think about this?" I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. And I want to keep it that way.
Blissful ignorance. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Like it gets really stupid when you start looking into things, and then you wonder why you're so fucking unhappy all the time. It's like, maybe it's time we stop looking into these things.
Probably right.
It's
honestly.
almost like it should be like that, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
Because let's face it. Like, tell me one bad thing that you've looked up on the internet that's happened in our country or your country, and you're in a good mood afterwards. Like, it never happens. So, like, to me, I just rather not. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Ignorance is bliss right now, boys. Ignorance is bliss. I'll take the fucking red pill, bro. I don't care.
I don't want to take any more pills. I'm good on the pills department.
Oh wait, no, red pill is waking up. So no, I'll take the blue pill.
I took the black pill, and
there's no going back.
Nope.
I don't want to take any more pills. No, like what do you think?
The stupidity is just so like egregious, bro. Like it's just not worth like sacrificing your mental state to update yourself on things in life, dude. Like honestly, like I'm just speaking from like, the heart here. Like if it means sacrificing your own mental well-being because you want to remain up to date what's going on in the world, trust me, it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah.
I like weed 420. Welcome to the stream, sir.
I just I don't know. Maybe it would be a lot better, but I don't know. I'm terrible at not keeping an eye on things. Like Apple going fucking all out against Epic.
That is funny.
Dude, they want straight up blood.
They both do, and I get it. And as much as I hate Epic, I hope they win because the shit Apple pulls is some shiesty shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they'll win? Because as far as I can see, it looks like Epic's gonna get crushed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough because, I mean, man, yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not 100% on all the law, but I don't see how Apple refusing to.
Because isn't it about like outside purchases, like things out of their control, or like off their marketplace because you can buy stuff?
Yes, among other things, right? Yeah, Apple doesn't want an Epic or anybody else to be able to sell things without going through the Apple Store so that they get their cut. They also
because they have a 30% cut.
Right. They also don't want because Epic wanted to just make their own launcher / game store / whatever. That bypass the Apple Store like you can do on Android.
And you know what? Like as much as I disagree with a lot of what Epic does on this particular situation, I actually agree with them because
same.
The store that they have with Apple, it's not as good as what every Apple fanboy tells you it is. Like I love my iPhone. Like I do. I legit like my iPhone. And even with that being said, I could tell you there are tons of flaws with that fucking store.
Yep.
And for a brand to be all about organization and everything that's easy to get to, it's like, bro, searching up shit that you're looking for, if the store doesn't have it, will lead you on a fucking goose chase. And it's a pain in the dick.
Dude, trying to change a payment method's a pain in the ass on Apple.
Dude, that's cancerous, bro. Like, how the fuck are they still like not
The
able?
problem is it's so easy to add a payment method, but it's almost impossible to cancel it sometimes or change it.
Yeah.
Had to change it from a fake Go addiction, but I mean, it's a pain in the ass to change anything in the Apple Store after time. That's why like I just removed my PayPal off there. I'm like, I'm just gonna, if I have to, I'll do a one-time purchase. I don't need to go through all the trouble of this again.
Well, not just that, because WordPress, right? So Apple's trying to block WordPress because the app for WordPress is free, and separately WordPress sells domain names, right? Which is a completely separate service to the app that they, because the WordPress app, all they let you do, well, not all, but you know, the main focus of the app is allowing you to control your website from the app, and it's free. You just have to pay for the domain name. But Apple wants their 30% off those domain names, even though that's not in any way, shape, or form connected to their service that's on the App Store. So they're blocking WordPress from doing their new update. I can't remember if they actually canceled the app altogether. I don't think they did. I think they just blocked the new update. But
I mean, there is workarounds though to this.
Well,
like Apple's policy, because Spotify does it.
Not if Apple keeps blocking people.
No, but Spotify does it where they say like it's cheaper if you go buy Spotify Premium like on their website versus just go into the App Store.
Sure, but if Apple then blocks Spotify from working
Safari?
unless they enable.
How would they do that? Like they'd have to block Safari, the Apple search bar.
No. They will just tell Spotify that you can't have an app on our store unless you have to go through the app to get the Spotify Premium, and you give us our 30%, like they're doing with WordPress.
I mean, because Spotify's been doing this for a while with Apple, so I'm wondering if like they actually would Apple actually pushing at Spotify, because then I think the main
maybe not. Spotify's kind of big, but you know, so is WordPress. That's the thing. So
yeah,
you know, it's but this is what the Epic lawsuit is about. You know, it's and
that
like
it is.
I fucking hate Apple. I can't stand their business practices, and I want to see them lose in court because it's some fucking shady shit. Like that thing with WordPress, the app in the Apple Store and their service of selling domain names, those are two completely separate things, right? And Apple's trying to say, no, we don't care if they're completely separate things. If you're going to have an app on our store, then you are going to give us our 30% of all your services, even the ones that aren't related to what's in the store. Which that's total bullshit as far as I'm concerned.
That's crazy. I don't know. Like that's just some crazy shit. Like you can't have in the Apple Store. Like how do you even force it? You let's say that Spotify had to change. Like what?
Yeah, they would just kick you off if you don't comply.
Yeah, they'd beat you. Yeah, they'd beat you. Yeah.
Like if you try to buy Spotify Premium on Safari.
No, they would block Spotify. They would say, we're not going to let you operate on our store unless you change the way your monetization and practices work.
Problem is, what if you buy like Spotify Premium on like a Microsoft computer or something like that? Like let's say I bought my premium.
No, they'll stop Spotify from operating on the Apple Store until they comply. That's their only option. And it might work. You know.
I just don't get how they would change it though.
Who?
Like Spotify, like what, you can't buy Spotify Premium on like a Microsoft computer anymore?
No, it wouldn't be Microsoft, it'd be Apple. And they'd have to, the only way to do it that I could see would be that Premium on Spotify on the Apple platform would not work wouldn't work unless it was purchased through the App Store.
I mean, that's the only way they could do it, and even then, it's still some shady ass nonsense.
But yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're, like I said, greedy fucks, and they are trying to funnel all commerce done on any or done through any business or whatever you want to call it on their app store through their app store so they can get their 30%. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm sorry,
not
guys.
really surprised. I'm not really surprised that they do that. You know what I mean? So they
No,
they were doing shadier, dude. They were doing shadier shit back at the very beginning of the iPod launch. If anybody remembers that, like the situation that took place there was quite literally somehow they would like if they got one of your emails, they found a way to get all of your fucking emails.
Sure.
Even if your fucking email wasn't connected to your phone. Right? Like, and so people were reporting that they were logging into their iPods, listening to their iTunes, and all the emails that they ever received was on their account. And I was like, dude, I only signed up with one email. How the fuck? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, well, it'd be like a music artist selling some of their music on iTunes, but then also having a Patreon or something, and then Apple going, yeah, well, you're not going to be able to sell your stuff on iTunes unless you also give us a cut of your Patreon sales. It's like, well, wait, what? No. Like, there's two separate things there. And, yeah, it's some silly bullshit. And again, that's why I hate Apple products. So...
Well, I don't hate Apple as much as you do, Pete, but like I do understand why people like them. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been over here.
I understand why people like them.
I never did. Because I was one of those like you, like, you know, how the fuck can you guys like this shit if they do all this shitty shit? And now that I'm finally experiencing it myself, now I honestly see why they like it. You know what I mean? There's just something there about having the stability and being able to go into a platform and not worry about your shit crashing every time you launch a fucking window or something is actually kind of reassuring. You know what I mean?
Although I would posit that particular function is vastly diminished now versus back in like the 90s and shit. Because that was the thing. That was why every business used Apple products. And that's it, because they were stable, always. You know, but that changed like a while ago. You know. But, I mean, I get it. I really do. I just don't like Apple's business practices. And I wish...
Fair enough. And that's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. But... Yeah. It is what it is. And like I said, I know for sure Epic has a case. Whether or not they'll win, that's a separate issue. I don't see how it's not... And how Apple's business practices wouldn't fall under the category of trust and therefore be subject to antitrust laws.
Right.
But you never know with courts, right? They make stupid ass decisions all the time. So, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how the court case goes. But I could easily see Epic winning. That just doesn't mean that they will. So, you know, like I said, I hope they win as much as I fucking hate. And this is the thing, right? It's, you know, I will not put my hate of Epic over what I think is proper, you know, following the law properly, right? As much as I hate Epic, I hope they win because Apple is doing far worse, and I'd want to see the law followed. But you know, we'll have to see.
The thing is, I'm wondering, is it because it's Fortnite and that's why Apple's going all against them?
Yes.
Well, actually, yes and no, right? It's not that it's Fortnite. It's that it's Fortnite in that Fortnite just makes so much goddamn money.
I honestly believe it's because they can't control Fortnite. Sure. Honestly.
Yeah, but they wouldn't care if it was some silly, you know, game that wasn't making anything. Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's why I seriously believe it is because of Fortnite. Now, if Fortnite was a smaller game, this case wouldn't even exist, dude.
No, yeah, they wouldn't care. But it's Fortnite, and it makes billions of fucking dollars every year, or whatever stupid amount of money it makes. So they want their fucking cut of that cheese.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, definitely.
So, you know, fuck. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of another game that they wouldn't care about. But all the ones I can think of are the same size.
I wonder if, because I don't know if this will apply to like the gacha games I play, because I usually
Fake Goat would, sure, because they make a shitload of money. But
yeah, but whenever I have to make a purchase, it's always through the store. At least on Apple Store, like it's usually through Apple Store.
It'd be the same thing on Android too, but there's ways to get around that in Android. If they want.
For Android, I'm pretty sure you can just buy it on its own thing or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, no, if you go through the app, it goes through the store, but there's no lock. Like you can install apps on Android without going through the store, and they have not, as far as I know, they have not tried to lock anybody out of doing anything like, say, on their own website, like Apple is. So
I don't know how Apple can get away with all this.
Because they're Apple.
Because all this just sounds nuts. Like, how would anyone tolerate this if Samsung was doing this? Samsung that.
I mean, you want the real answer?
Go for it.
Because people who use Apple are usually idiots. But
thanks.
I was
gonna say he didn't say usually. That's why I didn't say anything. I was gonna say hey. I know what I'm signing up for, sir.
And people are comparing this to the Microsoft antitrust lawsuits in the 90s, and they're not wrong. It's a lot of the same sort of shit. I don't think Apple is doing exactly what Microsoft did. But it's pretty fucking
close, dude.
It's actually what Microsoft wanted to do, right? Because Microsoft couldn't do what Apple is doing. They didn't have like a Microsoft store that you had to go through to install any software on your PC. But that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to control everything that you were able to put on your PC. Apple is actually doing that. So it's not quite exactly the same comparison because they weren't doing exactly the same things, but it is what they wanted to do, and it was what Microsoft was attempting to bypass with their bullshit of locking out other companies like word processors and spreadsheet apps and shit like that.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I said I don't see how Apple's practices don't fall under antitrust. But, that's...
Because, I mean, like, a lot of those laws that I'm discovering, and I didn't know this before until I looked it up, a lot of these laws can be circumvented by claiming that the majority of your corporation isn't actually operating out of the U.S.
Sure.
Did you know that? I didn't know that. I had no idea. Like, if you actually have a major corporation,
I'm sorry,
if you have a major corporation and you can prove that the majority of your clientele isn't coming out of the U.S., you can actually circumvent the laws that are anti-capitalist or anti-monopoly laws.
Yeah.
Antitrust laws. Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought that was kind of crazy when I saw that. I was like, what?
Well, that's kind of it's the catch-22, right? Companies are not beholden to U.S. laws for anything they don't do in the U.S. And there's nothing really...
they commit the crimes outside of the U.S., they will actually, they can have lawyers easily be like, oh, well, they didn't do it here, so why are you guys fucking pissy about it?
And that's the thing. It's like, how do you control a company that's not based in the U.S., right? It's like, we can't just go to a French company and say, oh, you have to do this. They'll say, fuck you. We're not beholden to your laws. We're in France. The only thing we can stop them from doing is doing that shit on our soil or in our marketplace. But,
Yep.
Yeah, it's...
Hey, wait, is there a way to like fix that law, or is it just? I think it's
like I said,
exist.
We can't tell companies that operate in other countries what to do.
Yeah, but
how
it's
exactly
like,
would we do that?
But if they're U.S. based, here's the fucked up part. So if they're U.S. based, right, and they can easily sit there and say, well, guess what? Majority of our operations have been switched to Mexico. They just dodged multi-billion-dollar lawsuits against them. Tell me that's not fucked up. And all they gotta do is prove it. That's all they gotta do. And you know what? A lot of these guys set up a shit ton of businesses in other countries and then like at the last minute they're like, oh no, we incorporated them underneath our umbrella. We're good. We're okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the other, like, the shit that Microsoft tried to do where they were forced to split the company apart, and they did, but not really, because everything was still under the Microsoft umbrella.
Right.
You know, it's the limitations of the law, right? It's like there's no way to make a perfect law. There's always going to be a loophole around it.
Well, and see, like that's why I think laws shouldn't just be fucking passed for the sake as a response to something. Like they need to actually look into the current laws and find out what's working, what's not. You know, what happened here, what's going on there, because they have too many assholes, dude, right now that are like, "Hey, guess what, guys? We got you." You know what I mean? Like that's.
It just seems like there's so much loopholes like now.
Dude, there's a loophole for a loophole for a loophole, dog. Do you like loopholes? This country is literally built on a giant loophole, dude. No joke. Like we are founded on loopholes, bro. It's fucking retarded. And me personally, I think it's fucking ridiculous that people can get away with so much shit in this country. Like, I mean, look at we talked about the Weinstein shit, right? Like where the guy's book, the judge ordered it to be fucking destroyed, even fucking though all the names that he's ever dealt with and all the transactions he's ever done were in that thing.
Wait, the book was destroyed? The black book was gone?
It was ordered to be destroyed from what I understand.
Yep.
Wow, I guess we're stuck theory crafting forever now at this point. Fuck.
No, they got Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, but like, what's gonna happen to her?
Oh, fucking, she'll end up fucking dead too.
Pretty much.
Jesus.
It's like a guarantee, actually, at this point. I mean, what can you do? You know?
Kill them all. That's what you could do.
I'm
not advocating that, by the way, YouTube. So fuck off.
I am.
No, but this is
Rep
all
Tony
crazy.
is not affiliated with Game Talk, and all of his opinions are his own.
I didn't sign no NDA for this, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't get a YouTube partnership, you technically didn't sign anything. So.
Well, no, you did. You technically signed their terms of service.
Yeah, I was totally kidding, YouTube. I'm sorry. Please don't do anything mean.
Just a joke.
Just a prank, bro. The camera's right
there.
It's
a meme, bruh. It's a meme.
Oh my god. Think happy thoughts.
Fuck.
There you go.
I always think happy thoughts.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is what it is, though. Like I said, I hope they win.
Also, Hitman, the new Hitman game is gonna be locked on Epic Store for a year. So
is the new the new Crysis Remastered is gonna be an Epic exclusive.
Wait, the original Crysis?
Remastered.
Okay.
Yeah, the remastered Crysis 1 will be an Epic exclusive.
I can't even get the first Crysis game to work for me.
Wow.
Really?
So the answer, can it run Crysis? That's a negative.
No, it's not that I can't run it. The game won't start for me. I had to download some software, like their software, but then it told me, oh, you have to delete it and then like get the new version on their website. I'm like, oh, fuck this, dude. I just want to play a little bit of Crysis, but the game's not allowing it to me. I'm like, oh, I'll do this later. Or never, probably.
That's kind of fucked.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I just Google how to do it, but...
You'll ask Google how to do it. Google, can you help me, please?
Oh,
kinda.
Google!
But how can they lock the Crysis remaster, though? Actually, they probably can, but...
What do you mean, how can they? The same way they get every other one of their exclusives.
Wait, is it like a year exclusive or permanently locked?
It didn't say, but I think it's... I mean... Yeah, I don't know.
Ah, fuck.
Why is the Epic Store so bad and evil?
I know. China.
Epic is evil, honestly. I hate Epic. I hope they lose Apple
up,
now.
Shadow? Fuck. No, Shadow. I'm not pulling you in, bro. No. We're in a podcast. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Pull
sorry,
me.
Man. But
bro,
yeah,
like
so
seriously,
that just means I'm not playing the Crisis. Well, I guess I could sail the high seas, which of course I would never condone. But yeah, I guess I'm not playing the Crisis remaster.
We're in the middle of a show right now, sir.
Well, hold up. Does the original Crisis game even really need a remaster, though?
Well, I mean,
not really.
I would actually not mind a gameplay remaster because I think the second and third games had better gameplay. But as far as like a graphics remaster, well, like I like the simplifications they did to using the suit, where like speed wasn't something you actually had to choose to use; it just activated any time you sprinted. And same thing with strength; you didn't have to activate strength and then like pick something up. It would just be if you went up to something and picked it up and it required strength, it would automatically activate it. That was so much better, in my opinion, to the first one, where everything had to be activated and it was just kind of clunky as fuck. So I wouldn't mind if it was just a gameplay remaster.
Because visually, the game still looks good.
Visually, yeah, the game still looks great, and it's still like there's nothing stopping you from using the textures and shit from the second or third one, which they do look a little bit better, I think. There's nothing stopping you from using that and just overlaying it on the original Crisis. And what's up, Arrow?
Can't you mod it though, the original Crisis, to like have better gameplay or no?
I mean, yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff you mentioned sounds like life changing things, or what's it called?
Gameplay changes?
No, it's the small gameplay changes that end up becoming a big deal. Like there's a certain name for that.
Yeah.
Forgot the name. Point is, it sounds like the second and third game are the one you should play.
Oh, the first one's worth playing. Like I said, it was just a lot of improvements that were done to the second two that I think really helped, and I like the story too. But yeah, you know, it is what it is.
Yep. So, also, fuck Epic.
Yeah, fuck Epic.
And play Nier.
Although not in the court case. Fuck Epic other than the court case.
Yeah, but it's like communists versus Nazis in that situation. It's like, who do you choose to win at that point?
Cunt. I knew that was gonna happen. But I'll be interested to see what they do with it. That's, you know. I don't know. I'm not gonna play it obviously because fuck Epic, but I will be interested to see what changes they end up making. What they consider is worthwhile to remaster.
Also, we got about 8 more days until NVIDIA reveals the new GPUs.
Okay, babe.
Can't wait to see that 380 Ti in action, dog.
Oh, dude, that's not coming. Not for a while.
I mean, the reveal's supposed to happen like.
Yeah, but it took how long after the release of the 2080 to get the 2080 Ti out?
I can wait. I just need to know when it's coming out. And in 8 days we'll find out, so. And then we'll see how powerful that shit is and how badly it's gonna make my graphics card become shit.
It won't, dude. It'll be fucking 10%, 15% tops.
How about that, dude?
That's the usual. I mean, that's a generous.
That's actually usually it's 10%.
Even then, I think the actual average is more like 7 or 8%. But if you only include like big like not refreshes, if all you include is the actual line changes, like not like 2070 Super, you only include from 1070 to 2070 or whatever. I think it's like 7 or 8% is the average. But yeah, 10 to 15% is about the absolute most you will ever get from the next generation.
It's supposed to be higher though with the 380 Ti and all
Yeah,
that.
supposed to be, but all I ever keep seeing is claims with no fucking, when nobody has any benchmark numbers, and I ain't gonna believe that shit.
I mean, I can't blame you, dude. Like, and you know what, dude? Like, even with AMD like claiming their shit, like the beginning of their like processing and making their new GPUs, they were like 45% more. I'm like, you know what? I would love to believe you, AMD, but something seems a little fishy about those numbers. Like, they tricked my ass before. They're not getting me again.
Right.
Yeah,
especially when these YouTubers were only doing AMD optimized fucking games and not NVIDIA. And then they were claiming, "Oh yeah, it beats NVIDIA." Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, because they're running on an AMD optimized fucking game. There's gonna be a difference.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because
and that's the thing.
Here's the thing, though. Well, but here's the thing, though. AMD doesn't cheat like NVIDIA does.
Oh, I'm not saying NVIDIA is flawless, right? I'll never say that. Like, I mean, I've got my issues with NVIDIA just as much as I do with AMD, but as of right now, my stream is more consistent than it ever has when it was on AMD. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, they're fuck, what is it? Encoder. Yeah, they're encoder, man. They gotta, whatever happened to the fucking version of OBS, using OBS as a...
The drivers were so good back then,
know.
Bro.
I fucking know, man. God damn it, AMD. The fuck are you doing? Get that shit going. You're supposed to make
I get my Vega 56 card. I'm hyped for my Vega 56 card. I'm like on cloud 9 with my Vega 56 card. And then the last big update that I had with it completely fucking shattered it, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's fucking dumb, bro. I really do that. I hope they come back with, well, yeah, we're supposed to be getting a new driver suite, right? Like, new driver suite's coming up.
Yep.
I'm hoping it fixes all their issues. I hope we get a truly, optimized card for streaming, because that would be fucking fantastic.
Dude, my Vega 64 is amazing. I just wish their fucking encoder worked properly.
I wanted that Vega 7 card so badly. I'm just not willing to spend that kind of money on it.
No, yeah, it's not worth the price difference. Isn't worth the performance difference between a 7 and a 64. Yeah.
And when you have like 6 gig cards coming out of NVIDIA, like keeping up and even surpassing it on performance wise, it's like, what the fuck's the point of all of those other 15 gigs? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Hydrate. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing a podcast right now. Thank you for the hype. Appreciate it, sir. You're awesome, as always.
I mean, I guess it was kind of like, because the 7 is an intermediary between a gaming card and a production card. It's something you can do both with. But I don't know, man. AMD needs to get their graphics section fucking
agreed.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're murdering the CPU department.
Yeah, you did magic with the CPU shit, Lisa Sue. Fucking get on the GPU side. What the fuck? And I love the architecture of the Vega cards, man. It was a fantastic fucking architecture, and it is a fantastic fucking architecture. You just got to get some of the kinks worked out. So fucking get on it. But
agreed.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, I understand, right? Because most of their problems. Most of their problems. I know, right? I would say because it was driver problems. Anyway, most of their problems are either driver or software related, and unfortunately, they do not have the capital to work on those like NVIDIA does. Right? That's the rub. They don't have the market share to spend the kind of money that NVIDIA does on drivers and software.
But here's the thing, though, right? AMD is in a very peculiar situation, being known for the price of performance thing. That's always been sort of their shtick, right? So AMD can pull this out of their ass. Like, sure. I believe, because like the software suites that they use are like the majority of them, anyways, that I know they develop with are open source.
Right.
So you couple that with the possibilities of coming out with a better encoder, like they could do it. I want them to do it. I want AMD to come back. And I want them to come back strong, not just the CPUs. Like, they're fucking dominating CPUs, which I never thought I'd see the day where AMD was going to come back into their original spot as number one. That's fucking insane.
I thought the days of the Athlon XP were fucking over and done with, dude. But here they come fucking steamrolling. And it's a goddamn miracle.
Because Intel just, I don't know, Intel isn't even doing it themselves
They got
anymore.
lazy and complacent. That's what happened. If Intel had kept going like they had been after the Athlon XP and the Buy 4s and the Phenoms and all that shit, if Intel had kept on like that, they probably would. I mean, AMD might have still come back, but they would be in a much better position than they are now. But they didn't. They rode on their laurels. They kept. Oh fuck.
Yes.
You canceled your camera. What the fuck?
No, I didn't. I kept. It's still on my end.
Yeah, it's video disabled by me. What the fuck? Oh, God, that was fucking weird. Anyway, yeah, they rode on their laurels. They didn't actually do any architecture innovation or anything like that. They just kept pumping out, 5% faster chips every year and refreshing the naming scheme and all that. And it's come back to bite them in the ass. What the fuck? Blue, are you leaving?
Not that I know of. Blue should still be here. You're cutting out pretty bad, Pete.
Am I? Dude, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
And I'm not losing frames or anything, so it's not an internet issue. It's got to be fucking Discord.
Yeah, because everything cut out for me there. Like you started talking about the
it's
whole
happened to you
CPU
too.
thing.
Okay, so yeah, this is a Discord thing, not a my computer thing. Well, all right, I can't fix it, so. But anyway, yeah. So, if they had tried a little harder when they were at the top of the heap, they'd be in a much better position to compete with AMD now. So I hope they learn their fucking lesson. But, it's Intel, so who the fuck knows? Not exactly.
They're not wrong, dude.
I think they're not going to recover.
This is why I buy AMD chips, even if they are like the Bulldozer or Pile Driver or whatever. Because AMD does always innovate, even when they're top of the heap.
Yeah.
Whereas Intel does not. And so
when Intel gets on top, they slack. They fucking slack hard, dude.
And if I bought their chips, then I would be not condoning necessarily, but supporting that behavior. I'd be, that would be the type of business practices that I was encouraging. And I can't do that.
Correct.
Because I want innovation in my CPU space. I need AMD to keep innovating because otherwise Intel fucking won't. So, it's tough. But
yeah, it's also Intel. Intel is not going to get better with the whole because you have to upgrade your motherboard every time you upgrade your CPU. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I give that. I'm solid. I'm good at 10.
Just a 10?
Yes, obviously. I mean,
Jitty
I'm not sure how. Probably. I mean, that'd be a better estimate, but.
I don't blame you. Like I said, AMD has come a long ways. They're doing fantastic things. They're amping up their single core performances, which is what exactly everybody wanted.
Yeah, that's what
they're
needed.
Listening.
Their multi-core was perfect. They just needed a little better single core, and they're doing it.
Their XT stuff is coming out like 5% faster than the regular X models.
Which
awesome.
Is fine.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's the same price, so you're not losing out on anything really. Which is also fantastic, I think. So I mean, it's good. I'm happy. I'm happy where AMD is with the CPU market. I'm just not happy where they're at with the GPU market, and they need to get that shit going. Tired of the excuses. And then,
they had a pretty good excuse, right? Like they needed to. CPU is a little bit more important than GPU. Fine, fair enough. But you got your CPU now, so start concentrating on GPU because you fucking need it. because Nvidia needs a goddamn competitor. It's the same thing between Nvidia and AMD as it is between Intel and AMD, because Nvidia pulls all the same shady shit, and I will not purchase Nvidia products. I can't fucking do it.
I got mine used. I got a great deal on it, by the way. So technically, I did support shit.
No, you stole a sale from him.
Well, my boy wanted to get rid of it. I was like, all right, bro. I'm not paying full retail. He's all, no, hell no. I wouldn't sell it to you for that. I'm like, good. I'm glad to hear it.
But yeah, it'd be real nice if they could, and it's not a whole lot either, because raw performance is fine. It's just some of their software shit and the encoder and stuff like that. If they could get that stuff sorted, it'd be fucking perfect. Because I don't expect AMD to outperform Nvidia. I don't care about that. I don't need fucking 2080 Ti performance. I'm perfectly happy with Vega 64 performance, but that encoder, like that kind of shit, it's a tough pill to swallow.
It is. Absolutely is. It's a tough pill to swallow no matter how you look at it, dude. When you see the GPU stuff going with Nvidia, granted, do they fuck up a lot? Absolutely, they still fuck up to this day. Like, so I'm not saying Nvidia is flawless by any stretch of the means, but they did innovate in the way for streamers and content creators, and that's something that AMD needs to do.
Yeah, their encoding and all that is leaps and bounds ahead of fucking AMD's.
I mean, you look at all the crazy shit that they're coming out with. Like my card alone, my card was manufactured to literally stream, and that's its main function is to stream. And I'm happy they did that. Now, do I agree with some of the stupid shit they do? No, not at all.
Also, they don't have to dominate the high-end performance, because AMD still dominates for mid-tier performance for gaming.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. They can innovate that.
Mid-tier gaming isn't the whole market anymore, though. There's also mid-tier streaming and shit like that, which they're just not getting.
Well, there's that deep AI learning shit that's going on.
Right.
So.
But that's kind of Nvidia's bag. I don't think AMD has the wherewithal to compete with them on that.
Agreed.
Because that's, man, the chips and kind of shit that Nvidia is making to do that kind of stuff, that's heavy duty shit. That's like building servers and silly shit like that. It's not the same thing as making a GPU for gaming or whatever. So that's the thing. That's what Nvidia wants to do anyway, right? Nvidia wants out of the gaming market. They have already stated they want to concentrate on AI, deep learning, and shit like that. So, but I don't know if they ever will, because it's the gaming innovation is what helps fuel the innovation in like the AI and deep learning stuff. So. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if they'll get rid of it, or they'll get rid of the gaming market, because isn't that a large part of their profit, though?
No,
the gaming market for Nvidia, no, it's deep learning algorithms.
Yeah.
Almost every major computer out there, like the ones we were talking about the last time we did the show, all run Nvidia GPUs.
The thing about like the gaming market is, for a lot of the stuff, especially GPUs, the margins are very small. So like Nvidia does not make a lot of money on their gaming GPUs, even though they have the best ones and they're quite expensive. They're super expensive to make. So.
Yep.
But it's like with a lot of things, right? Like you could say that about a whole lot of Halo products. Cases and fucking other hardware and stuff like that, where the profit margin for the highest end stuff is tiny compared to the mid-range or low-tier stuff. And it's just a function of cost of manufacturing for a lot of it. It's super expensive to make the high-end shit. So,
absolutely.
But a lot of times companies don't want to give that up, because that's the stuff that gets the most notice, right?
Right.
It's the 2080 Ti that gets fucking everybody talking about Nvidia's other stuff because that's the top of the tier.
And honestly though, like if you consider top tier from an Nvidia and you compare it to AMD, like I feel like AMD like nailed the top tier way better for what it was built for versus Nvidia. Because like Nvidia, when they do top tier, right, it's always a hybrid scenario. Like it's always a hybrid scenario. It's never a top tier rendering core. It's never a top tier streaming or gaming. It's always a mixed thing. So when you hear top tier from Nvidia, that's what you can expect to get. Now, personally, I think if they're going to do their top tier stuff, they need to focus it on the very thing that their communities are focusing on, and that's gaming. If they were to do a top tier gaming card, I think that would be sick. Honestly, that would be that would be badass, because that just makes more sense to me versus, this is a top tier card and it can render really good and it can stream really good, but it's not the best in its class. Even though you're spending twice the fucking price, if sometimes 3 times the price on that card to do those things, when you could have gotten a better deal on a mid to high end card like a 2070, or in this case, the equivalency is a Vega 56 or 64. Like, I've always asked people, like, why would you want to go out and buy a 2080 Ti, bro, if the fucking thing only does 5 or 6 more frames for 2 more gigs? It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, unless you actually need it, unless you're doing rendering or you're doing fucking something
exactly.
like that.
If you're actually doing rendering, sure, by all means, But if you're not rendering, the fuck are you doing it with your card besides gaming? It's not AI shit. It's not content creation.
You just want that high end shit though.
Well, yeah.
And I get the bragging rights. Don't get me wrong. I get the bragging rights. Like I 100% agree with you on that. But when you look at it at a more logically based situation,
from like a consumer cost perspective,
you look at, like, I think they said like 45 to almost 50%, like half their market is literally casual gaming.
Yep.
And these motherfuckers are going out and spending fucking $1,200-$1,300 on these fucking cards, and they have no idea what they're getting themselves into. So it's like, and that right there will boost the used sales market up by like another 60%. So now we're gonna get price inflation to compete, or deflation to compete with the used market, depending on how the market is. Like, I don't know, it just fucks up a lot of shit, dude. It does. It fucks up a lot of shit. And it makes it to where Nvidia doesn't have to be, to be beholden to anybody. You know what I mean? It's just weird. It's a weird situation.
Yeah. Not wrong.
And I think they should definitely be answering for their shit. So, of course.
Yeah, but also it's like, because sometimes it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to like think, why would I would get like a 380 Ti? That's because I just want that high end shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if that's what you want, fine. But
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like I said, it just for that's why I think AMD is in a good spot right now. Like, if AMD was to pull their head out of their ass and start working on that encoder, their mid tier can actually probably, and if they were to focus to make it focus solely on gaming and streaming and aim for those markets better than what Nvidia is currently doing at a much inflated price, they could nail it. I mean, they could rock the fucking GPU market again on top of their CPU market. Because they're believe it or not, before Crimson came out, their Raptor drivers weren't that bad. Like, they akin to like popular belief of what everybody else was saying about them. I rocked that Raptor driver forever on my old R9 270X.
Oh yeah, dude, forever.
Dude, it wasn't bad. Like, the actual recording quality of the videos were like shadow play fucking equivalents.
And then super low bit rate.
Super low bit rate, super low file sizes, even smaller than Shadow on RAW. Like, dude, like the crazy shit they did. And like, and like the driver difference between on RAW and compressed, if you could record the same video on RAW on 2 different programs, you could deduce whether or not that encoder is good or not just by simple file size. When I would do this test with with my buddy's NVIDIA card with my AMD card was recording at a much smaller like way
File size.
smaller
Yeah.
file size than the NVIDIA card. So, I mean, they were doing something great with it, and then they just fucking everybody was bitching about, oh, this sucks, blah blah blah. Now we're here with Crimson, and it was good in the beginning, and it's not anymore. And I really want to see them pick that up. I'm tired of seeing this bullshit. I'm tired of seeing AMD doing a win in one thing, and they let the entire half of their other market just falter because of it. And that's the type of shit Nvidia did back in the day, and I don't want to see them do it now. And they're doing it now, and it pisses me off.
Isn't Intel supposedly jumping into the GPU market anyways now?
Yeah, it's
They're
funny
going
because they said they're gonna switch focus, is what they were saying. So after this next launch of Intel processors, that like whatever the fucking code name is, whatever Lake, I have no idea.
Whatever Great Lake does that name after.
Yeah, right. They are actually looking into specializing in GPUs now. And I'm down for that. I'm down for that. And Nvidia is looking into doing CPUs.
That'd be the day.
So I'm like, yo, like player fucking 3 for the CPU market. Let's go, dude. I don't care if it's Nvidia. Like if they think they can compete with microprocessing, like let's fucking go, dude.
Or both, like player 3 for both Intel or for CPUs.
Oh yeah,
and
for
GPUs.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Because we've been stuck with
Absolutely.
2 for each for way too long, and we see
and
what
I'm tired
happens
of bitching about both of them throughout the years. I want a third option, and yeah.
You get in those situations where AMD has a stretch of bad luck for 5 or 10 years, and then all of a sudden Intel just stops doing anything, and it's like if there was a third party in there, that might not happen.
Agreed.
So
absolutely agreed. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. I hope they do it. I hope I really do, dude. I hope that they can knock that shit out of the park because we need something, bro. Like we needed something like fucking 15 years ago.
You're not wrong.
And to finally have those options be available to like new PC gamers, I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little jealous. We've been rocking AMD since the days of the Athlon, since long before that when Voodoo cards were out. And
dude, before that.
And I had I had the fucking original Celeron that was rocking the AMD GPU shit that they were doing back when Intel and AMD were like kind of like not only just one and the same, but like they were kind of co-partners on that shit.
Yeah, I had one, a 486 that was back when AMD was doing OEM work for Intel. When they didn't make their own CPUs, they just made Intel's versions of the CPUs. And I had one of those, and then my first actual computer, the one that wasn't my dad's hand-me-down, was an AMD 500 or whatever.
Back when 3DO was a thing?
Yep.
Back when Max Payne ran on 3DO for the first time and you saw that shit, you're like, dude, this looks amazing.
Back when you could play Unreal Tournament or whatever in Direct3D. What were the 3? Direct3D,
oh my god, I can't
OpenGL, and then there was a third
OpenGL,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, Direct3D, OpenGL. There was a third one.
I just remember by their original names, like Voodoo and shit. Like,
right.
I remember Voodoo very well. That was
dude, everybody wanted a fucking Voodoo card.
Dude, Voodoos were the shit back in those days, bro. Like, nobody understands the pain and woes of shit like that. Nowadays, it's like, what? My GPU can't do streaming either? I'm like, bitch! Do you have any idea how much this shit was inflated back in the day? A good Voodoo card even back then was like fucking almost $600.
And if you really wanted it, you had to get 2 of them bitches.
Yep.
And SLI actually worked pretty decent back then.
Well, yeah, because it was more to the metal versus with all these fucking APIs that they have now. Right. They didn't have APIs like that back in the day.
In fact, they weren't even called useless.
Yeah. Like they were like traditionally async.
Right.
Back in those days, remember? Like
Kinda.
They were like
I mean, they needed the bridge, but the way
they needed the bridge, but they were still like, I mean, they were pretty fucking close to being as.
But that's
async
the way the software worked. It was way closer to async than it is now, or not now, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
But Yeah, that was, man. Original Counter-Strike, Deus Ex, Max
Back
Payne.
when I remember to this day the one patch, the one fucking patch to optimize Counter-Strike turned that fucking card into a hack card. Like, I was there for that, dude. I saw it happen. And this was back when I was still living in Nevada. Like, dude, that shit was intense. Like, you would get in a Counter-Strike lobby and you'd see all these fucking squares pop up on your monitor through the walls, and you knew where everybody was, and it was part of the card's features. And Valve did not look at that as a hack, by the way. Talk about fuckery. Holy shit.
That's a loophole if I ever saw one.
Bruh. Like, dude, the Valve we got now was a very different Valve back then. Let's just say that. Very different.
Were they making games back then? Oh, yeah, they were. They were making games back then.
Yeah.
Steam didn't even exist back then.
Well, it existed, but it came up with, porn ads on the side. So, hey, there was that.
Hey,
nobody remembers.
Buying...
Nobody remembers the shareware shit that they went through. Their shareware stage.
Whenever I'm buying a game, I always want my XX favorite sites always on the side. You know.
Hey, I mean, Camgirls. I mean, they had Camgirl sites up even back then. And guess what the original Camgirls site hosted was? It was hosted by Yahoo.
Hmm? There's a name I haven't heard in a decade.
Telling you, dude, like, not many people know that shit. Like, some of their original hosts were Yahoo. And if it wasn't Yahoo, it was Internet Explorer.
Yep.
And everybody was wondering, how come my Internet Explorer is always being compromised? I wonder. Look at who your host sites are, bro. It's like, does nobody not understand how a virus works or an infection on your PC works? Jesus.
Oh shit, man. I mean, there was no protection back then. I mean, you got those fucking pop-ups that you couldn't close.
There was no escape.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah,
right?
I remember those.
Or the ones that would spawn 100 windows. Close them down one at a time. Each one's a different porn site.
And the fucked up part is that was considered normal back in those days.
Everybody just put up with it.
It wasn't considered intrusive or anything. That was the companies literally saying, well, you're using this product for free, so like we just need ad revenue, right? And then like you'd go into like just go check your email, and I remember like hot pussy would pop up in a big bold letters on your fucking thing, and you're like, where's this coming from? I don't even go. At the time I didn't go to that site. It wasn't my computer. It was my grandfather's. So I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm checking my email,
Grandpa,
bro.
what are you doing?
Oh god. Oh god.
Granny's gone wild. What is this shit?
Like,
I mean, you want to go see Granny's Gone Wild? All you gotta do is go to Florida.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Not wrong.
Whatever apocalyptic scenario that happens over there.
Bro, I mean, there's some wild shit that happened back in those days that everybody was okay with, and they justified it all the time. There'd be, I mean, anytime they were called out on a forum somewhere or a thread, like the company would either ignore it or they would push the ad campaigns that much harder. So like, if you complained about fucking ads popping up in your email or some shit, all of a sudden you got like 6 more added to it. I was like, listen, man, you guys are some fucking assholes, man.
Maybe you don't like this how porn it is. Let's switch it up real quick.
We don't believe we're doing anything wrong, sir. Keep watching.
Did hentai exist back then, or?
Oh, yeah. La Blue Girl was launched in the 80s, I believe. And I remember watching my first GIF of it on dial-up, and it took like 2.5 hours to download.
Oh, bro, yeah,
dude. I'm just imagining
a fucking MP4 back in the day. Oh my god!
And my grandfather was like, "What the fuck are you into, dude?" I'm like, yo, he's all, it's all good though. I kind of liked it. I'm like, yeah, see, right? Like it's pretty good.
Wait, so you're telling me anime titties back in the day would take a shit ton of time to download and not
Like
entertain
hours,
right
bro,
now?
and it was like a 15-second clip too. It wasn't even like a half an hour episode. No, sir.
All I
It's a
gotta say is you can make those
10-second
15
GIF.
seconds work, bro. I'm
Right?
just saying.
Dude, I'm trying to imagine like seeing your very first titty. It's an anime titty, and you see that 50 seconds. You're like, what was it? And you gotta like examine that shit. Like, have to like, can you pause it or no? There's no pausing.
Pictures would take 10
Bro.
fucking minutes to download. You'd have busted 3
You
times before you could see a nipple.
Right?
Right?
Oh. And you know what's fucked up, dude? Is that was back on the original media player. When you hit play, it did not have a fucking loop function.
Yep.
So you had to keep hitting play. You're like, oh fuck, I'm almost there. Hit play. Hit play. Hit play.
Was it? So there was no pause button.
No, there was a pause, just no loop.
Pause,
it wouldn't
yeah.
automatically loop it.
But it wouldn't loop it, yeah.
Yep.
It was a fucked up loop thing.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, y'all motherfuckers
Dude.
are teasing me now.
Anime titties back in the day. Oh, dude, I couldn't imagine living in that time. Or it take.
And
Like,
you know what,
2
dude?
hours down.
And like even YouTube when it first launched, it was on the cusp of everybody finally getting to the cable internet finally, and it didn't look bad on the old CRTs. It actually looked really good.
No, yeah, it was all right.
So when everybody was
remember-
like, I need a monitor that does 1080p and all this and all of that, I'm like, dude, trust me, when you get a CRT monitor, you're gonna look at 1080p and be like, what the fuck's this? Because even back then, CRT monitors were ahead of their time
Oh,
in
well,
visual fidelity and,
yeah,
and a lot
yeah.
of even
a
the
lot of
basic
that.
bitch colors. The basic bitch colors looked amazing.
refresh rate too. Yeah,
Don't
when
people
the
use
first,
CRT
when the
monitors now
first,
still?
well, no. That's when the first LCD monitors came out. Their refresh rates sucked. Their resolution sucked. And their color representation sucked. Like CRTs were better in all of them because the technology had been there for fucking decades. It took a good between 5 and 10 years before, because like 1080p, CRT monitors, the standard was 1080p way back in the fucking day. Whereas when LCD monitors came out, the standard at first was 480 and 720 for the longest fucking time because they couldn't do 1080. They didn't have enough pixels. It took like 5 or 10 years before they had 1080p 60 frames per second LCD monitors.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry, my mind's struggling to comprehend yet. You had to wait
Yeah.
like 10 minutes to see anime boobs.
Kids these
Yeah,
days,
boy.
man, they don't even know how good they have it.
Bro, like let me put it this way: when you're fucking like when you're going through a dry spell and you can't get around any chicks because they're all tied up or started in the month, dude. Trust me, Yahoo chat rooms were a fucking great way to go. Because guess what, dude? Yahoo chat rooms, bro. I don't know what it was, what kind of fucking sorcery they had back then, but gifs on that bitch would load like almost instantaneously. But for some reason, when you would try to download it, it took hours. So it was like, bro, you know what? You know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna use Yahoo chat rooms. I'm like, hey, can someone post something real quick?
Because you had fellow comrades, and they're posting up with you.
Bro, like I'm telling you, dude, like the shit you would have to do to get around shit, bro, back in those days were like absolutely atrocious in comparison to what you would do today.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's you. Back then, you'd be lucky to just get one video. Nowadays, you're trying to find the right video.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
I think I saw something horrible right now. Nowadays, it's like it's hard, it's easy to find like a porn video, but it's like now it's hard to find the right porn video, the right one.
Oh, no doubt.
Because there's so much competition out there, you know.
Competition breeds excellence.
Agreed. Yes, it does, sir. Back
Porn
then,
proves
all we
it.
had was like 3 or 4 porn stars to watch on the internet. Now we've got 100,000+, maybe even more, probably millions at this point.
That
Like,
and now we have YouTubers that add to that equation, so we got even more now content.
When YouTube came around, dude, everybody just looked at it as like, yes, opportunity knocking at the door.
Dude, YouTube was dude. I remember YouTube. I don't know, this is like in 2007, 2008, but I remember YouTube.
Bro.
You used to be able to watch an entire season of anime on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the craziest shit
that's
ever.
how I got back into
That's when I
anime
started
for the
watching
first
Bleach
time.
and Naruto before everybody else here did, dude.
That's where I watched School Days.
I was talking to my friends about Naruto and Bleach before it ever became a thing here on fucking YouTube, dog. Ever. I asked my friends, like, hey, you guys ever seen this? They're like, what the fuck is that, bro? I'm like, dude.
I remember, like, I think watching, like, I watched a YouTube, like an anime episode on YouTube, or a movie it was, and the first 10 minutes of the movie wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure it was for Naruto, one of the Naruto movies. And I swear to God, till this day, I have never seen that 10 minutes of that Naruto movie. The first 10 minutes, I've never seen it in my life. Till this day. It's like, man. It's like, I even should I go back and try to find it? Nah, not really. I think it's best just to leave it. Also, it's probably already taken down by copyright anyways.
Well, on YouTube, sure. You could always sail the high seas. Not that I would ever condone anything like that.
Ever.
Oh, yeah. School Days, Deers.
School Days on YouTube?
Yeah,
imagine
bro,
you just roll up on
God,
YouTube and you actually
horrible.
just find the final episode of School Days on there. You're like, yo, what?
It was horrible, bro. It was horrible. I was too young
It's
for
like
that
some
shit.
shit. We're like, yo, we show you didn't. He's like, oh my god, it's so gross. You gotta show your friends it, because whenever you see something gross, you have to show your friends. It's always the case. You never ever let it be.
Lies. I didn't have any friends back then.
Me too.
Bro, I didn't need friends when I was watching Bleach and shit, dude. All my guys would hit me up on Skype, and I was like, yeah, fuck off. Like, what do you guys want?
He's like, listen, I gotta watch the pain arc, guys. Leave
Bro,
me.
I was
Skype.
not a social guy back then, dude. Like Skype, my Skype dudes would hit me up all the time. Hey, let's go play something. I'm like, fuck you, leave me alone.
I never had shit like Skype. I had TeamSpeak for a couple of clans I was in for like World of Warcraft and shit, but fucking I barely did anything with them. All my friends were in-game friends, and it's not like we hung out outside of the game.
Same.
So yeah, I'd
same.
hang out with them in Battlefield or whatever, and we'd play for a few hours, and then that was it. So, fucking, what is Discord and shit like that?
I mean, yeah, well, Discord is like the next evolution of that shit.
Basically. You know?
I
remember when
like
you had
Discord,
to have all three:
right.
Skype, TeamSpeak, and Ventrilo, because they were all three separate.
And you had to, like, I remember using the first ever Windows share on Skype because that was the only way to do it, and it sucked.
Oh yeah,
I remember having Skype for Minecraft back in the day. I'm like, yo, this is awful. But you didn't know anything was better, so I was like, oh my god, this is Skype. And I'd be in like a fucking random call with someone on Skype, and they'd be like, oh my god, look at this. And I'd be like playing Minecraft. I'm like, yo, what?
Well, Vent was better, but not everybody used it.
Skype was awful. I'm so glad Skype's gone, or not in a usable state, or Discord exists.
I don't know how Zoom got so fucking popular when Discord exists, because Zoom is just fucking terrible.
Because it was well, the thing was with Zoom was like it was the first one to do the video feature to be as clean as it was.
Sure.
Because it was pretty
Discord
clean.
Already
like,
had
that was,
though. That's the thing.
It wasn't as clean though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was still kind of buggy. It was laggy. Like it had its issues.
And I guess Zoom was a little more user friendly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The funny thing about Zoom is a lot of those Zoom calls you can have like random people join it, and I've like seen videos of that shit. Like back when Zoom school classes were in full training, you know, some random dude joined without his pants. You're like, yo, what?
Bro, like,
terrible.
And that's how Skype was, dude. Skype was like that. Like you'd get to a Skype call, some random would invite you to, and some motherfucker would be like start fucking naked in his chair talking to everybody. I was like, what the fuck did you guys throw me into? And my friends would be dying, dude. My guys would be laughing their asses off, bro. I'm like, this is
hilarious. Yeah.
I'm like, this is some stupid shit, bro.
The internet was the wild fucking west back then, bruh. It was great.
Yeah, dude. That was back when classic YouTube was around too. It's like, man, what an era that was. Dude. Like, I keep going on this, but like, I really do miss classic YouTube, where basically anyone can succeed. Nowadays, it feels like no one can succeed on YouTube. No one. Because now you had to get all this. I remember back in the day, anyone could just become big. Like some random dude in his room can become some million subscriber channel YouTuber.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that shit ain't gonna happen. Now you need to get all these productions crap. You need to spend some money. Back in the day, I remember like you just like do it and like, oh, I'm big now. Yay. I'm now a new celebrity.
Well, it's because the market's saturated and we're all trying to, invest enough to where we can actually be competitive. That's why I got my camera. like my camera that I'm using for my live stream right now, it's literally so I could be competitive in the market when it comes to quality and stuff. Because right now, that's what's selling is quality. Where it used to be, you could get by on just talking shit in a camera, and you could get by on your personality.
Even need a camera.
You didn't even need a camera. You could have used fucking.
Just have a
images.
background or images. Yep.
Hey, back in the day, you can like all you need is like a decent microphone and like not ugly gameplay, and you'd
Didn't
be
even
fine.
need a decent microphone, bruh. There's the fucking garbage mics I used to hear.
And those videos are great still.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I miss classic.
I mean,
YouTube.
nowadays it's all about the. It's like we kind of went backwards. It's like now it's about the avatars and shit. It's like, bro, I was
I'll
doing
take
this shit
that.
back in the day. Like, what the fuck?
I'll take avatars over face cams.
Yeah, that's because you're a fucking chicken.
I mean, I do like chicken. It's pretty good. Bird, not
Chicken
gonna lie.
is fucking delicious.
Yes. I don't know. I guess I'm out. And you guys got anything else or no?
Well, there's something else that you were mentioning earlier, P. I can't remember now. This is why I tell you, motherfuckers, if we're gonna have a good conversation like that, to hold it off.
I thought you guys were getting
there's
everything
something-
ready.
Hi, babe.
Yeah, there was the Rocksteady bullshit. Fuck, I can't
I mean, but
remember.
is there that much about it? Like, is it
No,
about
that's the
like the
thing.
actual?
That's the thing. Both of the things we talked about, there wasn't a whole lot about them. It was just some funny shit. Fuck.
Is it about the like Gotham Knights, or is
Well,
it
there's-
about like the other project that they're doing,
No, there
like
was
the new Batman movie?
No. There was the new Arkham game, and then there's also the
I'm on a podcast.
oh
YouTube's seeing
fuck
you.
you, widow.
I was just letting you know.
Shit. The accusations of sexual harassment and shit. Aww.
Eh.
And from Rocksteady, or from people in Rocksteady. But it's just more of the same bullshit that's been around everywhere.
Also, you
Nice.
guys see the trailer for the new Batman movie?
Oh,
The
that's
Batman?
no. Oh, wait. What new Batman movie? You mean
It's called The Batman. It's the new one that they're doing. That's in the new timeline or whatever, some shit like that. Because they couldn't get who's the guy who did Batman and Batman v Superman in Justice League?
I don't know.
I know
Forgot
who you're
the
talking
actor.
about, but I can't remember his fucking name.
Whoever the
Not
actor was.
Snyder. Oh, the actor. Ben
The
Affleck?
actor. Ben Affleck. They couldn't get Ben Affleck name for Spider-Man. I said Spider-Man. Batman. So they had to make a new Batman movie with a new Batman. Like I forgot they got a new
Imagine Ben
actor for
Affleck
Batman.
as a Spider-Man, though.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Imagine like
No, it would not.
Spider-Man with shotguns and shit. It's like he's I'm Spider-Man, got a Glock, I'm ready for war.
Let's talk about the fake news.
No, I remember
Nope.
what the other one was. It was the new Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, Cold War. I think I
Yeah.
see actual.
Commies are pissed off that the new Call of Duty has politics in it because it paints commies in a bad light.
Leave it to China.
And
'cause
the really
get the
funny
figure.
thing is that there was a trailer-ish, whatever you want to call it, for the new Call of Duty at the end of last year. That featured what's the guy's name? Yuri something or other, the fucking Russian propagandist.
Yeah.
That his speech on how they're gonna destroy America, and it was banned by YouTube.
Yeah, and then they brought it
Now-
back.
It's
back
in the Call
on
of
there.
Duty trailer. It's
Yeah, it's on
the
there
Call of
now.
Duty trailer.
Yep.
Dude, I'm just thinking. if-
Treyarch's like, oh yeah? Well, now it's literally a part of the game. Fuck off.
Dude, honestly, because I didn't really give a shit this Call of Duty's campaign. The next Call of Duty actually goes out with this shit. I'm actually play the campaign this time.
Right?
I'm
up
down
killing
for
some
Cold
commies.
War. I'm down for Cold War shit, dude. Cold War shit's fun, dude. I loved Black Ops. Loved Black Ops.
Yeah, Black
Oh,
Ops.
yeah,
like
that's the
I
thing.
killed Bro, I fucking killed my PS3 for Black Ops. That's how much I loved it. Like,
he killed the PS3, like strangled that motherfucker.
No, dude, because Black Ops 1 back in the day had a weird fucking bug where it would actually cause your PlayStation 3 to overheat. And I knew this. Like, I knew this. Buying this game, I fucking knew it. And I still did it. I had my shit, it happened like 4 times. And on the 4th time, my PS3 finally said, nah, dog. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Now I know why my old PS3 is broken. Now at least I know now why that's broken. But still.
But what's fucked up is when it dies, it corrupts the entire hard drive. So it wipes completely everything.
Nah, it's fine. It's worth it. It's the equivalent exchange law.
It was.
Isn't it?
It was. I mean, I was mad back then, but now that I look back at it, no, it was worth it. Because like Black Ops was like the Modern Warfare for me, but Treyarch's of it. You know what I mean? Like I loved Black Ops. Black Ops 1 and 2.
One that Treyarch did, yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were my 2 top favorite Call of Duties for Treyarch, and then World at War dropped, and I thought that was pretty good. You know, World at War came first, but still, like, I didn't like it as much as I did that Modern Warfare at the time.
I think one of my favorite Call of Duties campaign-wise.
Yeah, I could see that.
It definitely one of the best World War II campaigns I played. Especially since I felt like it wasn't just about the Nazis, and it was kind of cool to like see all the Japanese side of World War II.
Yeah.
I don't know, just have all these people mad about the trailer, but it's like, man, you're just giving it free publicity, and this Call of Duty's gonna sell probably millions again, just like this recent one.
Hilarious. And like I said, I'm down for killing some commies.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Like I said, bring on the Black Ops life, bro. I miss it. It's about time we get a Black Ops, and I've always said that, like, give us a remaster of Black Ops 1 and 2, and we won't talk about the rest of the Black Ops series from that point on, because everything else sucks. So
it's supposed to be a reimagining, though.
I'm okay. Hey, they reimagined Modern Warfare, and I love it, dude. Like, Modern Warfare, great game. Only thing I hate about it is say goodbye to your fucking hard drive.
Yeah, right.
That's the main thing I hate.
120 gigs or something silly like that.
Well, yeah, because every fucking release is a new 60 gig fucking patch.
Yeah, that is some shit, man. They need to get that shit under control.
It's like, do you guys like hard drives? We don't. Here's our new game. I'm like, oh no. Fuck my life.
Better have a fucking 8 terabyte solid state.
Oh, that reminds me. New hard drive manufacturer's coming up soon. I don't remember the name of it. It's on. I saw their post on Newegg, and they're gonna do like 8 to 10 terabytes at like $120.
That's not bad. Shit, that's pretty good actually.
They were posting their shit.
You're talking about platter drives, right?
Yeah. Not SSD.
No. SSD, that'd be fucking amazing. But yeah, platter drive, that's still a good price. Because fuck, man, I just paid $70 each for my 4 terabyters.
Right.
Which I'm not happy about, because I remember when you could get a 4 terabyte for like $40 on sale. But you know, shit happens. Supply and demand, son. Supply and demand.
Well, aren't we gonna get like 9 terabytes now?
No, they're supposed to go up to like 16 or something. Yeah, I heard 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 were coming out. That's the new tech, the helium something or other or whatever.
Yeah, but ain't that shit gonna cause like massive amounts of cash though?
Not as much as you would think.
I mean, if they're cheap, I'll probably buy them.
Well, it depends on what you mean by cheap. Way cheaper compared to the drives for the site. Way cheaper per terabyte than the drives they have now. But obviously because they're so big, they're not going to be cheap. You know, they'll probably still be like, I think what they were saying was like $250 or something for a 12 terabyte or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, way cheaper than 12 terabytes of the hard drives they have now, but it's still, you know, it's not exactly cheap.
You know what I want to see? And Silicon Power's already doing it. I want to see them release a large capacity platter drive. Because Silicon Power right now, their SSDs are fucking killing it, dude. Like they're doing some great things. They even got RAM now. I didn't even know they had RAM. And I hear their RAM is doing extremely well. Like they're coming up fast because their price to performance is ridiculous.
Really good. Yep.
I'm running my SSD. I'm running a Silicon Power SSD. It was like a 256 on my OS now, and it is beast. Like holy shit! It's actually faster than the old HyperX Evo that I had.
Yeah.
And I paid a fraction of the cost. I only paid like $30
I'll bet
for
that
this
bitch
thing.
was fucking pricey as fuck too.
It was like $200.
Not cheap. Yeah.
It was like $200, bro. And that was their first gen. That was back when SSDs were like something ridiculous. It was like what, 75 cents a kilobyte or some shit, or whatever that average was. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but it was like it was ridiculous. It was like $300-400. Yeah, for anything decent, you had to spend like almost $1,000 just to get something decent.
But yeah, so that'll be cool.
Well, let's see. We talked about
DDR5 should be coming out pretty soon.
Bro, we didn't have a very long generation for 4 though.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
And that's kind of shit because I'm just now getting into 4.
Right.
But 5 is supposed to be backwards compatible, right?
I don't know. I have not heard anything about that.
It's supposed to be like the same slot or some shit.
Yeah, it'd be certainly possible because unlike with like DDR3 and shit like that, the everything physical about DDR4 certainly supports higher speeds. It's just the chips themselves can't handle it. And so that's the, with generation changes, that's the problem with backwards compatibility is if the slot or the bus or whatever it is can't handle that speed, then you're fucked. You got to come up with a new bus or a new slot or whatever it is. But yeah, with
what
DDR4,
up, Tech? Welcome to the stream, sir. Doing the
just
podcast.
The chips. So
yeah,
that would be cool. You probably could even have BIOS updates for a board that could support it, because any board that uses the PCIe 3 and 4 HSIO lanes should be able to support the proper speeds for DDR5, I think. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you might even get like AMD X470 or 570 boards with an update that allows them to, if it's backwards compatible and it's got the same physical slots and shit, then we might be able to get that on older gen stuff. But again, its memory speed is
doing good, bro.
It's not the bottleneck, right? For a lot of stuff, because we already get to a point. What's the not counting Ryzen, because Ryzen, you've got the memory speed and Infinity Fabric speed thing. So higher clock speeds with memory lead to faster performance, but that's because of the Infinity Fabric clock. But with Intel, what is it, like 2600 or 2800 or maybe 3000 megahertz on the RAM? Once you get past that, you get zero performance increase in real world anything other than a memory benchmark.
Well, yeah, because they can only handle so much. Like, they're hungry, but like at the same time, you can't feed or overfeed that shit.
The bottleneck is elsewhere at that point. So with DDR5, it's like, sure, we'll get faster memory. The main benefit will be faster speeds with lower CAS latencies and shit. If they can get like 4,000 or 5,000 megahertz, but with the CAS latency of like 12 or something, that would be fucking awesome. But of actual speed, that's not going to actually help us very much.
Right.
So, but
I mean, it could be good. It could be good, and I'll be done with that. Like, I would be totally okay with. I mean, DDR5 alone like has the ability to really amp up shit. You know what I mean? Really change some shit up, change things around the way it's being ran right now with DDR4. Because admittedly, there are a lot of limitations with DDR4. DDR4 had a really bad launch. We're talking about memory leaks out the wazoo. You had websites like YouTube.
There has never
overclocking
been...
was fucking around, yeah.
Oh my god, overclocking, I swear to god, man, you have to fucking sacrifice an animal and pray to fucking the gods to get your fucking DDR4 overclock to be stable, man. It's unreal. I've never had that much trouble overclocking than with DDR4. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I remember when, because you thought you had broken shit, remember? You even went out and fucking bought a whole nother thing of it because you thought for sure you fucked your shit up.
Well, what?
And it was...
the RAM I had was not the best compatible with Ryzen.
Right.
Because it wasn't Samsung B-Die. It was some other shit. And I actually got it pretty high for what I had because it was 32 gigs. But yeah, there was I think it was 3,000. I could not get past 3,000 no matter what the fuck I did, even though I should have been able to. But once I got the B-Die, I got it a little higher. But even then, fucking trying to get that shit running right on the X, because that same RAM, I could only get to, I think, 30, 31, 33 with my X, or 1700X. But with my 2700X and the Asus Crosshair 7 Hero, fucking almost no trouble. I was able to get to 3200 and then 3333, and I could get 3400, but I can't keep it stable enough for daily use. And that was all because of the memory, the built-in memory settings in the motherboard. So yeah, fucking god, man, if they could sort some of that shit out with DDR5, that'd be so great. Because overclocking
DDR5,
RAM for 3 and below was way easier.
I want to see DDR5 be able to make the leap in RAM that I hope it would make. Like I think we need something like to like really to evolve the way RAM operates now. And I don't think we're gonna see it on 5. Obviously.
Probably not, because
if it's gonna be the same socket, and it's gonna be backwards compatible, which I hope it is.
Even that's not the big problem. The big problem is the memory controller chips on CPUs themselves.
That's where almost 90% of the issues with RAM is.
Yep, because they just can't handle. You know, you need the top quality fucking shit to be able to get DDR4
and we
up
can't
to
be
the speeds.
And these vendors can't afford to sit there and let their driver suites to lapse like that. And that's what they've been known for doing, is allowing that shit to lapse and not actually keep up to date with anything that's on the current trends, especially with like the class latency. Overclocking your RAM has become a thing, and people were overclocking RAM on drivers from like fucking 2008. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like, bro, like, there's no reason that if you're gonna do a MOBO update or do a flashing your BIOS on your motherboard, there's no reason why an updated driver suite for your RAM controller and your SATA controller shouldn't be included on that. No reason whatsoever.
It's tough too, because with the vendor qualified lists and shit, like, I know why they have to do it with RAM, but it would be nice if they could unify some of that shit to where, you know, the same stock, the same RAM chips, Samsung B-Die, for instance, on 2 different RAM sticks shouldn't have the same numbers in the motherboard. Like I said, I understand why, but if they could get rid of that, fuck, man, that would make RAM compatibility so much fucking better if you didn't have to deal with that shit. Because that's how it is right now. You'll have the same exact chips on the same brand sticks, but one of them is, you know, G.Skill Trident Z and the other one's Trident Z Neo, and one motherboard will support one but not the other, and another motherboard will support the other but not the one, all because the tiny little differences in the controlling. It's not, I mean, I don't know if it's technically software, but whatever, you know, the interface between the RAM and the CPU that the motherboard controls. And it's like, man, if you guys could fucking sort that out to where that shit wasn't different, fuck, man, that would make it so much fucking easier. 'Cause that was the whole problem with RAM on Ryzen. But, you know, yeah, it's...
Yeah, it's, I mean... like I said, I really like something needs to change with that, or they need to change the way RAM functions as a whole completely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of the fucking bullshit of, because like, how many vendors have you seen, Pete, that have come out? I think Corsair, no, not Corsair, Corsair Vengeance DDR3 was like this, where they would tell people, sorry, we don't have a fix for it.
Right.
Buy a new stick.
Yep.
Like, excuse me, motherfucker. I just spent damn near like $200 on an inflated RAM that wasn't even that good in the first place. And you motherfuckers want me to buy what? More?
Or yeah, a different one, just because it's a slightly different fucking brand, not even brand, model. Yeah.
So ridiculous, dude. I really hope that shit changes, bro. Like, something needs to happen. Because manufacturers, as it is right now, they hide behind that shit. They're like, oh yeah, we can't do anything. Our hands are tied.
Yeah, we can't guarantee it.
Like, you're gonna tell me the #1 selling RAM in the US can't fix their shit? You're gonna make me go out and spend another $200+? Get bent.
Yep. It's some bullshit, that's for sure.
So DDR5, like I said, like, I think RAM in general, it's not just, and that wasn't a problem with just DDR3. Obviously, this has been going on for years. SIs had to deal with it. That's why SIs don't like to buy high-end shit anymore. They go naked because they don't want to deal with the cost loss on a shitty fucking manufacturer.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. Be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of hardware changes coming. So it'll be interesting if we can, if some of the problems will be fixed, but then of course, anytime big hardware changes come, that often leads to more hardware problems, just different hardware problems, So, yeah, that's.
Man.
Oh, damn it.
What?
Fuck you, Ash. Oh. I popped my ultimate, but fucking Ash tossed me back. That was a bitch. But what about you, Blue? You excited for anything?
I'm just excited for the new AMD chips and new NVIDIA stuff. That's all I care about.
When is 4000 supposed to come out now?
It's supposed to be like I think Rev told me September.
Yeah, but I thought they canceled that.
Wait, is that true? They canceled
it? That's what Rev said. I hadn't seen anything on it, but that's what Rev told me. And so I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, what's the real, things were supposed to be canceled and then it's been pushed back, so it's really hard to tell.
That was
what the trends are going to be.
I heard that the 4000s were going to be APU only, and that the what was supposed to be the 4000 chips became the 3000 XT chips, and then for new regular chips, non-APUs, it would be the 5000 series.
Yeah, but didn't they change it? So they're going to be.
I don't know. I didn't read anything on that.
Because I remember I was told that they changed it up, and now the 4000 series is going to have its own set of chips that are not APUs.
That's what I was hoping for.
No, I'm pretty sure I think that's what AMD said was going to happen. Because the original rumor, it's only APUs was just a rumor that AMD clarified later on.
I haven't kept up on it, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm upgrading my PC regardless this year, so I'm gonna go all on a high-end PC.
Well, I was waiting for 4000s to get a new CPU and motherboard.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just get the current Gen 1 here with a 3000 with the new GPU and a bunch of other shit with a super high-end motherboard. I'm gonna go for.
Like, it's almost, but you know what though? Like, with the motherboards that are gonna be launched, dude, like, there's almost no point of going super high-end anymore. Because a lot of the stuff that we were getting on mid tiers back in the day were kind of trash, right? But like nowadays, mid tiers are getting really high end shit. Yeah.
I mean, like the 400 series, that's a perfect example. If you the top quality B450 boards were capable of doing almost everything not feature-wise, but performance-wise, right? Like clock speeds and shit like that. The B450, like the Tomahawk and the Tough and that, they were perfectly capable of doing the same speeds that the Crosshair Hero 7 and shit like that were doing. You just didn't get all the features that you did with the higher end boards, and same thing with the 500 series. So yeah, that was great. Get high end performance for low end prices, or mid range prices, I guess.
I think the problem is I don't want to cheap out on motherboard this time.
I don't either. That's why I still got the Crosshair Hero 7, because I want the features, and there's a lot of things there that you can't get. But for people who don't care about that, who just want the numbers, right? They don't need the extra features and shit. It's perfect for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. So that'll be interesting.
I think we're gonna have a pretty good, generation of PC stuff. I just hope it lasts a lot longer this time around, to where we can actually enjoy it instead of worrying about DDR6 right around the corner.
Yeah, that's the thing. AMD will definitely be slowing down now, right? Like they will. They put out 4 generations.
I mean, not their GPU market. I want their GPU market to be fucking like
sure.
hitting
But
it
CPU.
like you wouldn't believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think DDR6 is coming out anytime soon. PCI 5 is not going to be out for fucking ever. I don't think they're going to try and jump out another CPU generation for a while. So I think AMD is going to be pretty good for the next year or two.
Yeah.
And Nvidia, man, they don't usually release back-to-back line changes. So the 3000 series, that'll be it for a while for them. And then who knows what's going on with it? Like I'd say Intel, but fucking they're still having troubles with their fucking 12 nanometer shit.
Yeah.
So,
I don't expect.
Fuck.
I don't expect Intel to come back for a while. Intel is definitely done for at least a year.
Well, it depends on if and when they can get their. They're trying to skip to 10 nanometer.
Yeah, they're trying to skip 10 nanometer because they've wasted too much money on it.
Right. So
they're looking at trying to change up their architecture, which is fine. Like, yes, please change that bitch up. You've been using it since 2008.
Right, 14 nanometer plus.
Fucking hell, bro. Like, the shit was good back in 2008, even, back in the day when, like, i7 launched, but, like, that was back then, bro.
Yep.
That was when they were innovating.
That was
They're not
when
innovating
Ryzen
anymore.
didn't exist.
No, but Kuma, the Puma did. And that was a beast in itself. Good old Tri-Core that AMD had. That was a beast ass fucking CPU.
Yeah, it was. I had one.
$67 on Newegg, brand new. Or back then it was Zip Zoom Fly. Like, it's crazy shit to think about the prices nowadays, though.
Right. Well, all right. We've almost been going for 2 hours. Anybody have anything else to add?
Nah,
buy Fall Guys. It's fun. There you go.
Oh, yeah. What? Fall Guys is fun. Yeah, Fall Guys is fun. Yeah. No, Fall Guys is lit. Yep. I'm not just saying that because everybody's into it. Like, I had already bought it and owned it before everybody got into it. So I'm just saying it is lit.
Haven't played it yet, so.
It's like Wipeout, but with your friends. You remember Wipeout, right, Pete?
It's basically based off Wipeout and all those old Japanese game shows.
Yep. Exactly.
Interesting. Well, all right then.
And it became the top game streamed on Twitch. Because I think the top stream game for a long time was Valorant and Minecraft and all that shit. But then it just jumped all the way to, I think it has the highest viewer count on average, even higher than Fortnite.
Interesting.
It's probably going to go down because obviously when the name of the game gets old, eventually it lowers down. Also, there's the Avengers beta.
Good.
The Avengers. I mean, you know what? I watched my friend Punk play that the other day or yesterday, and it looks like a fun game, but it's really not up my alley, dude. Like I love games that are third-person action RPGs, but it looks just. I mean, it doesn't even look that good, honestly. Like it doesn't look like anything that's worth a damn. In my
Problem
opinion.
is, I barely understand like what it is, like type of game is it? Obviously, there's a whole thing about Spider-Man not being in the game, but it's like
PlayStation exclusive, bruh.
no, but like I just don't understand what's going on in the game. Like I just look at him. Apparently, it's like supposed to be a single-player RPG or a beat. Like what type of game is it?
It's a okay. So it is an RPG. It's an action RPG in third person. So imagine Kingdoms of Amalur style type of combat. All right. So I mean, it's pretty good.
Because I'm watching the gameplay right now on Twitch, and it just seems like I've been like thinking, should I give it a try or not? The beta, but like to me, the game just looks so bland. I'm not sure if I even like it.
It's really not. Like to me, it's not worth it. Like I'm just like whatever, right? Like I'm like whoop-de-doo. Like, it's another RPG. Like that's the thing though. That's the way I've always been about Avengers. So no, it's not anything about Avengers that I dislike or anything. It's just anytime they make it like a Marvel Alliance game or an Avengers game like this, or maybe it's the first of its kind. I don't know. That just shows you how little I know about it.
What was the old?
I've never cared about it, really, personally.
What was the old like Avengers fighting games? It was all the Marvel characters in a fighting game. Oh, Marvel versus Capcom.
Capcom? Yeah.
That's the only time I really given two shits about that.
Yeah, but actually, because Marvel vs. Capcom, excusing the new one, like was actually a good fighting game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just the new game, just like here's the thing, it's supposed to be a co-op like RPG, but like I hate RPGs that are co-op because the gameplay just becomes really slow and you have to wait on others, and I just hate that shit.
Fair enough.
Most co-op RPGs, especially third-person ones, I have a dislike because I just don't like working with people.
Fair enough.
Because teammates make the game slower. Like if I had to be truthful at it.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong.
I agree.
Well, all right then. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace out.